Hey everyone, it's Matt here and I hope you're doing well. Today is August 14th and it is the day before the Clarence Creek CRPS match. I first want to apologize if you hear any crickets chirping. They're just outside the window there chirping away. But anyway, I just finished packing and I thought I'd do kind of an informal vlog type video to just show what I'm bringing and just kind of discuss the CRPS match. I think I just mentioned it's my first one. If I didn't, it's my first CRPS match, which I'm really excited for. The ORPS matches, which stands for Outlaw Rimfire Precision Series that I shoot monthly, are basically like the little brother to the CRPS matches, which stands for Canadian Rimfire Precision Series. They're under the same umbrella and organized by the same group of people. But the ORPS matches are quite a bit more inclusive in terms of who can or what ranges can participate in them, because you only need 100 yards technically to shoot those ORPS stages. But the CRPS stages are have target distances anywhere between 100 and I think the furthest one I saw was 400 yards, looking at previous course of fires, which is definitely a lot further. So a little bit more of a challenge. They're generally longer events with 10 stages as opposed to 5 plus any bonus stages your match director chooses to put in. So 10 stages, basically a full day event, and I'm really looking forward to it. I did originally, at the beginning of the year, sign up for the Petawawa match, which was supposed to be in May, I think, early May, but obviously with the public health situation that was canceled, which was pretty unfortunate because it would have been really cool to shoot on the Forces base. But anyway, so I have some things here. Again, I just finished packing. I guess I'll talk about this first. You can see I've made up like a little garage sale station for my barricade bags. As I mentioned before, I never originally intended to sell my bags. I posted a video on homemade shooting bags, and quite a few shooters reached out to me wondering if I sold them. So I ended up selling a couple. Again, I was doing it more to help shooters. A lot of guys said what's the point of them buying a sewing machine, because it's going to be more than if they just bought a bag off me anyway. So I made a few, and I was talking to the match director who I shoot with quite often on a regular basis. He's the match director for both my range, my club's ORPS matches, as well as tomorrow's CRPS match. And he mentioned, hey, it'd be cool if you made a few barricade bags and you can sell them on site. So I decided to do that. I basically used up the rest of my Cordura material, and my wife helped me cut and measure all the panels, and I just sewed as many bags as I could. And I'm also going to donate one as a prize for one of the prizes after the match tomorrow. So I think that's pretty cool. So, I have a couple here. My wife, being her artistic self, also helped me make this little tag to basically just make it a little bit more official, but you can see it there. I include a channel sticker with it. I don't know who would want to represent me, but if you do, there you go. And you got some, feature specs on the back of that. So I think that's pretty cool. If you want to know more about these bags, you can obviously watch my shooting bags video. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat that I can help shooters in this way as well. But once these are sold off, I seriously doubt I'm going to make any more to sell, because they're really not actually worth my time, if I'm completely honest. They take quite a while to make, probably about 3 to 3.5 hours each. So it's not a small task. But again, I wanted to just kind of get the rest of my Cordura material into these shooting bags. And I did kind of like a variety of different colors, some multicolored bags here, as well as some full green and full black versions. And on a select few of them, I also sewed a soft Velcro panel to the side, so you can put a patch on it if you want. But anyway, so that's why that's there. Starting off with some of the smaller items, I just got my camera bag, which for tomorrow I should touch on as well. I usually try and film each stage pretty well, so I can kind of do like a stage debrief afterwards for these matches, but I'm really not sure if I'm going to do that tomorrow, because doing that really does take away some of my concentration. And since it's my first CRPS matches and the distances are quite a bit more challenging, I think I might want to actually focus on shooting a little bit more. I feel like some of the ORPS matches that I've shot, especially if the squads are smaller, because you don't have as much time to kind of do your own thing, it's a lot more challenging to get your head in the game when you're shooting, and then also try and film and have your camera stuff and keep track of everything. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to film tomorrow in terms of filming the stages, but I might do a vlog or something of that nature. But anyway, this is my camera bag, which is quite a bit smaller. I tried to minimize a lot of my gear so I don't have so much crap lying around. And again, tomorrow this is going to be probably mostly just my GoPro stuff, so I can just take quick video here and there. So going on to my tripod here, this is the tripod I use for shooting. Now, I should mention another thing that's really cool about the CRPS matches is they're not really restricted in terms of what equipment you can use if you're an open class. Even the open division in ORPS, you're fairly restricted in terms of what you can use. So it's generally restricted to one bipod and one bag. But the CRPS matches are really trying to mimic center fire PRS style competition. So you're allowed to use as many bags as you want, as well as a tripod for rear support. So I've been practicing that quite a bit with this tripod here, using it for different barricades to support the rear of the rifle, which actually works really nicely. It really secures your rifle on the barricade and gives you a nice solid shooting platform to take shots off of. This is a Manfrotto tripod. I can't remember the model number because it's probably under the gaffer tape here, but this is what I'm going to be bringing tomorrow with me for certain stages that I feel like I could use the tripod for rear support. And the tripod, my lighter weight tripod that camera is sitting on right now, is going to be what I use if I do any filming. But again, I've practiced a little bit using this tripod, and it's a very secure way of shooting, and I quite like it. I think it's going to be really neat to try and use this in a match scenario. And before I go on to the main pack here, I also have my pump pillow. Again, I showed this in my shooting bags video, but generally I don't use this during the ORPS matches, again, because you're restricted to how many bags you can have. But depending on what barricades you're shooting off of, this can be really handy as well to help fill up that negative space in your shooting position. But anyway, going on to the main bag here, I usually have a larger duffel style range pack, but I figured for tomorrow and potentially going forward, as long as this works well, I might just try and use this backpack because I want to try and minimize the amount of equipment that I take between the range, because it can be a lot of stuff when you're packing the car. Yeah, so I'll just go pocket by pocket and show you quickly what's inside here. The front pocket here, I have some administrative stuff like pens, paper, extra batteries, but I also have my sling. This is a homemade sling for the positional stages that don't allow you to use bags or bipods. There is, I took a look at tomorrow's course of fire, and there is of course one positional stage as per usual that you are allowed to use a shooting sling, so I'm going to use this for sure. I showed this in detail in my, I think it was my maple seed video, but I made this myself and it works really well. So that is in the front pocket there, as well as my arm coach with my dope cards in it. I pre-made the dope cards for tomorrow, and it looks like the furthest target in tomorrow's course of fire is 287 yards, 315 yards. I think that's the furthest one. So 315 yards here on stage 9. The rooftop stage is the furthest target we will be shooting at tomorrow. And my dope for that is 14 mils. So yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. I don't think I've used the arm coach in a match before. I've had it for quite some time, but the ORPS stages, they're always set in 25-yard increments, and once you know them, you basically memorize that. But tomorrow, there's some random distances like 287 yards, 251 yards, 164 yards. So they're not, those set increments that you can measure or memorize really easily. So the arm coach is going to come in handy as well. So I kind of mark these up as best as I can so they're easy to read and I can read them quickly. Dory, by the way, Dory is going to be shooting the match with me tomorrow as well, and she has her own arm coach and dope cards. We have different preferences in terms of how we lay out the information on them, but just to give you an example, this one here is the stage 5 dope card that I wrote up. And I generally like to have my closest targets at the bottom of the card, so when I'm looking at the card, it looks like the field in front of me. But the red numbers are the order that I engage the targets in, so I don't get confused. And again, just short, quick information that's easy to read in the arm coach. Going on to the upper small pocket here, I just got my Ear Pro, my muffs, as well as some spare foamies. Dory really likes to use the muffs because they're electronic, so she can turn them on and she can still hear everything properly. I don't really like to use them because I find they just get in the way. I've been trying a new type of ear protection lately that I've been quite fond of. I've been using it for about a month and a half now. They're hanging on the side here, and they're the Surefire Sonic Defenders. I think these are the EP3s or EP5s perhaps, but they're the version with the 2-flange. But I quite like them. They're really comfortable. I can wear them for hours on end without having any issues. I found some other earplugs that use the flange style can get really uncomfortable after a while, but these ones are designed really nicely for me anyway. And they also have kind of like a passive method in allowing quieter noise to pass through, like talking, for example, but they're definitely not as good as Electronic Ear Pro, but a lot less expensive as well. So those are what I'm going to use tomorrow. By the way, you can see my pack has bright orange reflective pull tabs. I cut off the black ones and put on orange paracord instead, because when you have an all black bag, it's actually sometimes difficult, especially in low light situations, to find your pull tabs, which sounds really silly, but these zippers go all the way across. So sometimes you just lose the pull tabs and you can't open your bag until you find that. I did this a while ago when this was my hiking pack. But if you're wondering why my pull tabs are bright orange, that is the reason. Going on to one of the main compartments on the front here. This is my tool pouch. So I do have my rangefinder in here, but that'll probably be on my belt tomorrow, just so I can laze targets for a peace of mind. But here I have all the tools that I usually bring with me to the range. So I got my fat wrench, my cleaning supplies, so patches, my jags, a brush. I also do carry a cleaning rod with me usually when I go to matches. And then I got my bit driver. My bits are in this little pouch that I sewed, which basically take care of all my hex bit needs. So nicely organized there. And I also have a few smaller Allen keys if I need to adjust like my trigger or something like that. And I do have my Leatherman tool, of course, which obviously gives me a bunch of different tools in one package. This thing is super old. It must be like over a decade old. Some of the tools, like the small screwdrivers and stuff, are broken off, but the pliers and the knife obviously come in handy still. And I also do have my spare bipod feet, again in a little pouch that I sewed. These are the spiked ones, because the rubber ones are on the bipod at the moment, but if I want to switch them out, I can do that quickly. And I also have some spare parts for the CZ, just in case I need to switch some stuff out. Oh, I actually have I have a spare firing pin as well as firing pin spring, although honestly, if that went down, I probably wouldn't replace that out in the field because I'm not going to take the whole bolt apart. But the extractors as well as the extractor spring, I carry spares just in case. I've never actually had to change those out on the fly, but again, more peace of mind knowing they're in my pack if I need them. And let's just go on to the main compartment, the last compartment here. So inside my main compartment, I have my main shooting bag, barricade bag, which is obviously the same design as the other ones I've made. And my ammo box. I am shooting Elite Sport tomorrow, and I have packed this box with enough ammo for both me and my wife. I think there's 2, 4, 6, so 12 boxes of Elite Sport in there, so more than we need. I think the entire course of fire, you only need 130 rounds, I think was the recommended thing. Anyway, so you only need 3 boxes and I have 12. So just in case. The other thing I have in my main pocket is my magazines and such. So I have my mag pouch for transportation. Anything in this green Cordura material I sewed, but I made this little mag pouch, which you may have seen in some other range videos, but these just hold 4 457 magazines with some chamber flags, as you can see there. Nice way of transporting and organizing your mags. And I also have 2 more, so I'm gonna have 6 457 mags tomorrow, so 3 for me and 3 for my wife. But this is going to be on my belt, so I got my mag pouch here just in case I need to do a quick little magazine change. And this mag is sporting the 3-round extension from, I think it was Anarchy Outdoors. In the mag pouch there holds 2 mags, and then I just have a tiny miniature dump pouch to drop them in case there's mud or whatever on the ground I don't want to drop my mags into. But those 2 things will be on my belt, as well as the rangefinder probably. And that's it. Well, I have another pouch here that I made, which also functions as a mag pouch. There's a little mag pouch on the front of it here. And then I have some slots for ECIs, but this is also a little pouch that I made. I made this in the spring when we were shooting a lot in the rain, so I wanted a way to keep a lens cloth on me. But tomorrow I'm going to use the other mag pouch that I made. And who knows, maybe Dory will use this one, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, that's it. Again, just a little video, kind of impromptu, showing what I'm bringing and just talking about the match tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. The Course of Fire looks like a lot of fun. Again, 10 stages, and there are a few barricades or items that I haven't actually shot off before, at least not very often. So there's a tank trap, which I like shooting off of. I've done it once or twice, but not very often, because it's not like a standard barricade in the RPS matches, as well as a rooftop, which is pretty awesome, because I watch a lot of center fire competitions or matches on YouTube, and you always see rooftops, and I've always wanted to try shooting off one of those, so that should be a good time as well. But anyway, if you're watching and you're shooting the match tomorrow, I will see you then. Check out my barricade bags if you need one, and for the rest of you, I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.